びでとジョン・シー
Hello everyone, Skippy here, and welcome to One Piece episode 908, directed by Yutaka Nakashima and supervised by Toshio Deguchi. This episode looks like it's going to be quite the calm one when compared to the past few Wano episodes, due to it being heavily plot-based, with a clearer focus being put on the bond that Luffy has made with Tama and how it connects to the overall goal of the arc. So it makes sense why Deguchi, a supervisor who's known for being incredibly fast at producing key animation, is taking the reins of this primarily dialogue-centric chapter of the arc. Of course that does mean that his art isn't the most polished thing in the world, with it all looking blocky and fairly unrefined, so it'll be up to our chief animation supervisors to clean up his work, while our episode director makes up for the limited animation with what will hopefully be solid direction. So can episode 908 make do as a visually limited but still fun story-based episode, or will it end this section of the arc off on a low note? Well, let's set aside our leftovers and see what this episode has to offer. This episode covers the last 7 pages of chapter 918 and the first 4 pages of chapter 919, and it's extremely one-to-one in regards to adaptation, with some small continuity filler being added to it. It's not much, but seeing scenes like Luffy grabbing the dish of water, giving Tama the apple that she randomly appears with in the manga, and stuff like an extended farewell scene with her makes the episode as a whole make you feel more invested. It doesn't deviate too much from the original manga in terms of what it wants to add, and it only makes it feel a lot less fast-paced when compared to it, with the pacing and the canon events of this episode being a much-needed improvement when compared to the last batch of episodes. There are a few small adaptation changes though, like the censoring of a panel of some citizens that reside in the Leftovers town due to One Piece's Sunday morning time slot, but it otherwise stays as close to the manga as possible when adapting the canon events, alongside the small bits of added filler and very One Piece selection of OST, which makes for a good episode overall on the adaptation front. The storyboard from Yutaka Nakashima is certainly not jam-packed with cool compositions like a lot of the other Wano storyboards are, but it was serviceable on the whole for such a plot-heavy episode like this. Shots were always decently composed, and the cool backgrounds during the delivery of food were super neat, along with the odd cool shot that's packed with as much compositing as possible, so it's certainly not a board that'll leave your eyes wanting more. It does the original chapter justice, and despite a few small mishaps in regards to weird fade-outs and keyframing of JPEG images of the graves, the board for this episode stands its ground as an overall decent board that works for the type of episode that 908 is. Deguchi's corrections almost feel the same way too, with a lot of them exhibiting that usual angular and unrefined look, but for the most part they remain rather inoffensive, and when Matsuda and Ichikawa do their very best to clean it all up, it makes episode 908 work as a presentable but not overly animated episode that does just what it needed to do and nothing more. It competently adapts the original material into a decent yet solid episode, and when you consider the type of content that it's adapting, I really couldn't ask for more. But holy shit, that preview, dude. Co-series director Aya Komaki and One Piece mainstay Kenji Yokoyama are back at it again for episode 909 airing in 2 weeks that looks both absurdly well directed and animated. With Komaki's beautiful use of compositing dressing the preview from top to bottom, it seems that we'll be brought into Act 1 of Wano's next big turning point with a real bang. Anyways guys, that's it for now. I'm Skippy, and I am thankful that we're finally getting some more Robin content in the next episode.